lovely people, welcome to another video and a new game. We are continuing on with the spooky season, although Halloween has passed. We're going to play Strange Antiquities, the follow-up game to Strange Horticulture, which was actually, I think, the second game I ever played on this channel. So that's kind of cool for me. Let's begin. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities, in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. So we're in a new shop and we have a new cat. Look at his little heterochromatic eyes. I can't remember now what the name of the cat was. It was Hellebore, wasn't it? In the first game. So we've got lots of little items, antiquities, of course. And there's our desk. Okay, let's just have a nosy round before we start anything. Oh, that looks suitably creepy, doesn't it? Oh, and there's a locked section. Interesting. I don't know how well you can hear the sound of the rain in the background. Okay, I guess we ding the bell and get started. I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care, with some reluctance I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. Thank you. If in doubt, study it carefully, and remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. Oh no, sorry, I knocked my microphone. I should be back in a few days. You can't leave me in charge of a shop for a few days and tell me not to touch anything. You might as well just leave the shop closed, right? What I'm saying is I'm going to touch every single thing in this shop, and I will be seeking entry to any locked doors, drawers or cupboards. That's what I have to say about that. Sorry, little one. Congratulations. Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air, and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. Well, lucky us. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Are you indeed? Well, let's get our lovely book open. It's a lovely colour. A Guide to Occult Objects, T.S. Gill. Hunter's Boon. There it is. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Okay, I'm going to have a quick sip of tea. But you're used to that by now if you watch any, if you've watched any other of my videos. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to activate the magnifying glass, but there we are. Okay, so a trophy taken from a slain beast. So that could be a tooth, couldn't it, or a claw, or a something. Oh, okay. Well, look, there's something. Okay, so we can look at colour and composition. Yellowy brown. It's a yellowy white colour. Touch. Move the cursor over different parts of the object. That's what I'm doing. Thank you. Smooth but with hard ridges. Smooth. Scent and sound. I have nothing to remark. Inner perception. So like vibes. Gives me a sensation of power. Okay. Oh, they grant the power of the predator. Well, that seems, I mean, maybe I should double check there's nothing else, but that seems to tick all the boxes really, doesn't it? It's unembellished. It gives us a sense of power, and it does look like a tooth or a claw. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that's really a trophy from a predator. I think we will give this a try. This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. Very incredible predator. Good choice. On closer inspection, it gives a sensation of power. Well, sad that tiger maybe had to die to give us that tooth, but so we have some book content discovered, Selenic totem and something else. So we've got an achievement for handling our first customer. Let's move on, I guess. I don't think there's much to do in between at the moment. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. A shadow hold, is it? Let's see. A shadow catcher design. A shadow hold or oshadic vessel is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an oshadic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Oh, that's very obvious then. So hopefully that means it should be quite evident what it is. A container with that symbol on it. Well, I thought it would be more obvious, but I can't see. Oh, that. Yes. Nothing to remark in a perception, colour and composition, clay, cork. It didn't actually say anything, did it, about composition in the description. These markings have been carved in spongy, pungent. Wonder why it smells pungent. That was the same, wasn't it? I think so. Let's give that a try. There aren't actually any other containers, I don't think. Let's try that. There you go, Jack. Correct. The item is a container of some kind. The design on the bottle is the same as the sketch. Alright, we're not doing too badly so far. We've got sun bond. there is an auto-labelling option in the settings if adding labels by hand isn't your thing. Well, I haven't needed to add one by hand yet, have I? I guess. Oh, let's have a look at what's this? Oh, I see. Oh, we can look at our kitten. Jupiter, devourer of souls. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found strange antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorising rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. Ooh, he's following our... What a little cutie. And this is Eli White, the thaumaturge. Eli is a thaumaturge, a collector and curator of powerful objects, objects that to the untrained eye may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands and armed with the right knowledge can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. As owner of Strange Antiquities, Eli is a stern master. He knows firsthand what can happen if the right precautions are not taken. He doesn't tend to show much emotion, but he does have a more tender side, a side that is mostly reserved for the store's cat, Jupiter. And that was what he said when he left us in charge of the shop. Okay, let's see who our next person is. David Chafer, we remember him from the last game. What's all these ravens flying about Undermere today? What's with all these ravens? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. Cheers, bud. What does it say? We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the shin. Charlie Weathers. Papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard. Do we have a map? Remember in the first game, oh, what's this? On thalmic fields. All thalmic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thalmic lens. A diurnal field pattern. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. What does that mean? Oh, we have a compass. Ah, okay, that's to explore, and this is a map of Undermere. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. There are a couple of hidden objects. Good job I checked. I should have looked there first, really. So what did they say? In the boatyard. Aha. Oh, Strange Antiquities is here. Where's Strange Horticulture number 2? So we're there. Number 2's up there. Oh, that's quite a long way away. Okay, so what did he say? The boatyard. Number 8. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timber covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. You must be from Strange Antiquities, he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office, where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water, and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of browned papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Oh, so we got some content for our book. That's good. Apparently, as an afterthought and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. I've no use for it, he says. Don't even know what it's for. Ooh. Well, don't you worry about that. I will find out what it's for. That's good. That has a tick. So we can put it... Where's the, What was the archive? Oh, there's more things. Let's just put it in the drawer. Can't remember how I clicked on the archive before. What's this? Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Okay, well, that must be here. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me, but I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. 3 things. We're really racking up some items, aren't we? I'm soon going to need a bit of a system, aren't I? So that's done. Pop the book there. How do I close the map? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. It's a strange arrangement of rock, the eye, assembling the Stonehenge site, but on a smaller scale, arranged with purpose, though what that purpose was remains a mystery. The locals call it the eye. There's nothing else to see here. Oh, okay, I didn't take any damage. I just need to click on it. I don't know why that was so difficult. Is there anything? Oh. Ah. And what's this? Oh. It's so I have to figure out where it goes. There's one there. Yeah, they're in an order, aren't they? It's after this one, isn't it? I think that goes there. So I assume we're going to have to find the three other little slots. How exciting. Okay. Well, I need to not get too distracted trying to do all sorts of things. Let's ding the bell. It's Stanley Hume. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Right. Corchin, the serpent goddess. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Corchin, but the practice fell out of favour as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say they can hear Corchin's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. So that seems to be the only thing that will help us. There's snakes. She hisses. So they could have a snake on it somehow. Looking at all these patterns and things, okay. This one's a bit trickier. Oh, could that... I was wondering if that looked kind of twisted like the like this ring here. Is there anything else in here? Oh, it just has Ossic ring under Corchin. I thought there might be some more clues. an actual ring? Like on a finger, or does it mean a circular item? There's nothing that's standing out to me here. Look at this. Colour and composition, withered flesh, grim, gold. So it's an actual shriveled hand. Leathery and bony, quite unpleasant to touch, hard and cool. I don't think this is... I'm expecting it to smell worse than it does. Inner perception, nothing to remark. No, that doesn't seem right. What's this? Made of bone. It has some evil quality to it. I do not like to hold it. Bone, yellowed and white, brown twine of some kind. Coarse fibres, hard and somewhat rough. Oh, a soft sound like a serpent's whisper emanates from within. Oh, I think that's settled it. It must be this. So it just means ring shaped. Aha. Made of bone, this item satisfies the description macabre. Oh, I didn't really think of bone as being macabre. Closer inspection confirms that a hissing noise can indeed be heard. Okay. Well, that was the least obvious one so far, but I'm sure it's going to get more difficult. Just realised there's a clock. Oh. 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 What's that? Is that a little button? Oh. Oh. Wow. Well, well, well. Not sure what that will do just yet, but we will find out, I'm sure. Who's this Edmund Bishop? The behaviour of these ravens is disturbing, to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. A voice of Serenos. Sorry, not Serenos, Cernanos. Cernanos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Voice of Cernanos. Cernanos wearing his torque. Is that a torque? I think it is, isn't it? It's like an open piece of jewellery. He's got a serpent, he's got antlers, and he's got this staff. The name Voice of Cernanos is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernanos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag, and often wearing or holding a torque. Well, we've seen one of those, haven't we? This. Let's look at it. Bronze. An uneven texture. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. That's quite sparse. It says bronze. A bronze torque. Well, I don't think there's anything else that meets that description. Give him that. Hooray, this item is made of bronze. A similar looking item appears around the neck of Cernanos in the sketch. We did notice that. Spirit eye. Thank you. Closed. Let's see who we've met then. That's of importance. So just Edmund Bishop. He's an ornithologist, a studier of birds. The 14th Lord of Gleeston Castle is a man of wealth and privilege, like the 13th before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise, as his father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His students learned to divert particularly dense lectures on Latin declension by asking about local owl species, or by quizzing the professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Edmund was only too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of his adventures in Africa and New Zealand. Oh, I like the purring. Okay. Right. I don't think there's much more we can do today. We've identified 4 items. That's the archive. I knew I'd seen it somewhere, but I couldn't remember, so I'll put those in because we've done those. Forgot that was there. Okay, I think that's all. We can end the day. End of day 1. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach back barrow. Keep wanting to say black barrow, back barrow. Okay, so there are technically 17 days in this storyline. What do we have? Ooh. Oh, I like this. Oh, didn't mean to. What's happening here? Let's go back. Handcuffs, shackles. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Onto the map then. So we need to find a prison. The old jail is 10. Is there anything else it could be? Doesn't look like it. That looks like the most obvious thing, doesn't it? The old jail. 10. Prisoner escaped and ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. This one or this one? Aha! We got an achievement for solving our first clue card. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all, when suddenly and unexpectedly I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. Ooh. That's a very appealing item, very dramatic looking. I've got no system thus far. At least with the plants in Strange Horticulture, I'd sort of arranged them by the colour of flowers they had, or those sorts of things. I mean, I suppose I could arrange them into like stone, bronze, but maybe it's worth just waiting until we've identified a few more things, perhaps. Let's begin, shall we? Good morning, little Jupiter. Oh, it's Verona Green. Did we meet her last time? Ah, well, that's just perfect. Undermere, fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of the bed. Can't read. These ravens have got under my skin, is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Did we meet her last game? The name sounds familiar. Poetic Symbology by Quentin Holmes. Ah, so this seems to be similar to this Thalmic Field's Thalmic Disciplines. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines represented by the following symbols: celestial, Selenic of the moon, Dradic of the earth, diurnal, Dianic of the day, Notic of the night, individual, Mentic of the mind, Wizic? Can't see it properly. I can use shift to bring up a magnifying glass, can I indeed? Or I can just make the book bigger. Wixic of the body, imbuements, calm, confusion, death, life, paralysis, poison, deception, fear, foresight, protection, strength, truth, fortune, hypnosis, insanity, weakness, wisdom. I realised it was meant to go like that rather than straight across. Elements: earth, air, fire, water, light, dark. Materials: ashes, oil, soap, tallow, urine, verdigris, vinegar, wax. Mundane elements: antimony, arsenic, bismuth, magnesium, phosphorus, platinum, potassium, zinc. Planetary metals: copper, Venus, gold, the sun, iron, Mars, lead, Saturn, quicksilver, Mercury, silver, the moon, tin, Jupiter. Seasons: autumn, spring, summer, winter. I wonder why it starts with autumn. Oh, I guess it's alphabetical. Weather: fog, hail, lightning, rain, snowstorm, thunder, wind, cold. Frost, heat, ice. Wicca: blessings, horned god, rebirth, spirituality, triple goddess, which is not, which sign. So, I said these are the symbols that may appear maybe on some of the items, I guess, help us identify them. Right, let's move on. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralysed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horned shackle might be the answer. An example of an elaborate horned shackle. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. Totems. Well, that's horned. It fills me with a sense of foreboding. I thought at first it was bone, but it's in fact clay, painted to look like bone. A dark blue-green gemstone. Hard and somewhat rough, cool and smooth. Nothing to remark. Well, there's nothing that kind of connects to that other than the fact that it's horned. Let's see. That's also horned. I'm overcome by a warm, loving emotion. Lucky you. A light-coloured wood. Polished. Nothing to remark. I don't think that's correct, but it has sort of horns, but I think that's probably not really what that means. A cheap metal of some kind, probably pewter, bone, yellowed white. That's a symbol. I wonder if that's in our book. Detailed engraving, somewhat hard and rough. So what's this? Two kind of interlocking squares on this side. This protection. Okay, I don't think that really fits. Doesn't say they have to look like an animal, does it? necessarily, does it? But the example shows an animal, so let's look at all of these things. I have a strong sense of being watched. Don't think so. Bronze, smooth, nothing to remark, ridged, touched and smooth. That doesn't really make sense because the horns should be smooth if they've been used. What about you? Wood, rough and pitted. This part feels smooth. Well, that seems to fit more, doesn't it? Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. It does say that's an elaborate one, so there are obviously quite simple ones. Well, that makes sense to me because the horns have been rubbed smooth, so let's try that one. Correct. The item has horns. Closer inspect reveals that the horns have been worn smooth. Yes. Vestiger. Good luck to you. Hope some things improve. At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plough overturned a strange looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours, for the right price of course. John Royston. John Royston. Oh, Royston Farm. There you go, nice and simple. 30. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. He had you over a barrel. Crow or a raven? Or something similar. Let's put it up there. We're going to start running out of space. Can archive that one. Oh, who have we got on here? Verona, the occult scholar. Verona Green. Verona has been a constant in Undermere for as long as the streets have had cobblestones and the churches have had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired, which she tolerates. Her knowledge of the occult world is second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Undermere away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. The near misses of the Selenic Flame and the Woken Dendru are two such events that spring to mind. She is of the opinion that no problem is so great, no obstacle so insurmountable that it can't be diminished by a properly brewed pot of tea. I'm afraid to say she's entirely correct in that regard. And if you've ever watched the soap opera EastEnders, you would know that they also feel the same. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do about that thing I could press in this. Not sure if I should have inspected it more. What's this also? Ooh. Hello. It's a very specific shape. What is it, an item? No, it doesn't look like it. I'm glad I checked though. What about this? Ooh. Some weights to use with those scales. Anything else I can open? I've got that up there, haven't I? Okay. Oops, sorry Jupiter. Junior brother. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princes Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark, on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later and wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. A moon heart, indeed. There's an index in the back. Don't you worry, mate. I've already figured that out. Cheers. Cheers, anyway. What did they say? Moon heart. We don't have the page for it. But this suggests... If she's arriving for this, it suggests that I should have come across it already. I don't know. Moon heart, Selenic totem. Oh, right. Also known as moon hearts, I see. She just gave a different name. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Selenic and Noctic. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. I think we came across that, didn't we? There was something that had a feeling, gave us a feeling of love. Selenic and Noctic. Let me look at that. Oops. Selenic of the night, of the moon. Oh, I see. Okay. Crescent shapes. Was it this one? Nothing to remark. Not that one then. That was protection, wasn't it? I think that... Was it this? I'm overcome by a warm, loving emotion. And an owl is certainly a symbol of the night, I guess. Yeah. What else does it say? The item itself has a connection to either the moon or the night. Oh look, there's literally an owl in the picture. An owl in the picture, and this is crescent shaped, isn't it? What's it say? Light coloured wood. Polished. No. Alright, I'm going to go for that. That seems to tick boxes. Yay, this is a carved totem. Oh, it did say totem, I forgot that part. The owl is associated to the night. It bears a concealed crescent shape. And using the closer inspect tool tells me it imparts a feeling of joy. It did, yeah. Holgan Grim. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend I should say, has been stealing jewellery from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying around for her to find that will... can't talk. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Oh my, so I can either do a binding seed or a zia. Let's look up both of those and see what they say. Binding seed. These items are made of 2 distinct materials representing the mentic and the wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. Right, a binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. Okay. Guilt and shame. And what was the other one? A zia. worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart. These innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia that can be difficult to remove. Seers are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings on their purpose. Well, that to me sounds harsh. I don't know. I mean, I know she's a thief, but I don't know, especially if they're difficult to remove. Binding seed, it just amplifies feelings of guilt and shame, so maybe she'll just feel guilty and won't steal again. I feel inclined to go with this. The yew labyrinth at Castle Morrigan are larger than life binding seeds, so it's this sort of thing. That has a spiral on it, but then that has a spiral around the seed. Mentic and Wixic. So it just says two different materials that represent the body and the mind. Let's see what this says. A darkwood yew, perhaps. Stone. Sense of touch cool and smooth, rough and gnarled. Nothing to remark. I don't like how this makes me feel. Well, that does seem to... It amplifies feelings of guilt and shame, so you wouldn't like how that would make you feel. And then it says the yew labyrinth. Maybe that's a little clue because it says yew. I'm going to try this. I don't want to do a seer, that feels a bit harsh. Although, should I also identify... I suppose I can't identify a seer because I can only do that by giving it to someone. Any single wood except wood or clay. No symbol or other writings. That doesn't give us much to go on, does it? We might have to come back to that, I guess. Let's see if this is the correct thing. It is a binding seed. The item is made of two materials, wood and stone. It features a spiral surrounding a seed. Okay. Shield charm. Any single material. Did it say it can be worn all about the neck? Fear and paranoia. So it's only made of one material, we've already checked that. Gemstone and iron, well that doesn't... Bronze. My heart feels lighter, well that doesn't seem to go, does it? I think anything that's all about the heart, this won't be it, will it? Because it's wood and then gemstone and gold. Pearlescent blue glass and iron. Tarnished silver. Nothing to remark. Bronze. I have a strong sense of being watched. Oh, that could go for paranoia, couldn't it? Paranoia. That's two different materials. That's also two, surely. Yeah, iron and marble. We don't have anything else. I mean, it may mean that we don't have it, but I think I might tentatively, maybe we'll mark them in red when they're not. So that's obvious. We'll mark them in red when it's not definite. just realised that's the symbol for protection that we looked up before. That's a good thing to have. Really, Jupiter. Who do we have now? Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are gonna give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a Libya to see us safely through. Well, you won't be taking a Libya if I can't figure out what it is. Libulae are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There is power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges knew well. Upheaval and change. Reassurance. Well, there isn't reassurance, but there is calm. What else could there be? Foresight, maybe? I don't know. Well, they're saying an imbuement of wisdom. An imbuement of wisdom. I see. I misunderstood what that meant. Okay. Wisdom is this like almost like a little crown. So it doesn't tell us anything else. No. Does anything stand out? Oh, I just realised that's floating. Nothing to remark. What if those three little things mean anything? That's protection. So what's that one in the middle? Insanity. Protection from insanity. No. What's this? Maybe I should bring them down, or at least put it there and then I can see it. That's like several things all in one, isn't it? Rebirth. What's that other one? I suppose I don't really need to figure this out right now because this doesn't seem relevant, but I'm not really sure what that could be. Anyway, let's not get distracted. We need an imbuement of wisdom. It's got a moon and then it's got, wasn't that like a witch sign? Oh, sorry. I need to shift my legs because I'm uncomfortable. Pulled at my mouse cable. Yeah, witch sign and then a crescent. Oh, I've just seen it there. That's wisdom. Bronze. Raised detailing. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Well, I can't see what else it could be. There's not really much info, but that does have the imbuement of wisdom. Yes, I did it. This item bears a symbol of wisdom, so that was the only clue. Okay, good. Witch's finger. Good luck to you, sir. Oh, we then did the day. Well, I don't think I have anything to tidy up, really. Little Jupiter's content. Let's end the day there. A deep pain radiated down the side of the rider's head, where he had sliced himself with the diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. It's this building or something. Oh, literally that's it. Okay, it must be, mustn't it, from the map? Let's see what we can find. Looks like this row, because there aren't that many that are actual rows like this. Or is it this one? No. This one that hooks down. Yes, it's that, and then it's here? Is that right? These three definitely look like these three. And then it's this one, but you can't select more than one. Let me double check. Look at the others. I think that's it. Let's give it a try. We were right. There is a narrow gap between the two houses, and I spy a small wooden chest wedged firmly inside. Slowly I manage to work it loose, and when it finally comes free, it shoots out onto the hard ground and snaps open, revealing its long hidden treasures. Mysterious. This looks a bit like... Oh, not quite. I thought that might fit there. No. I keep nearly pressing on the map by mistake. Okay, let's start the day. Hello, good morning. Hello, kitten. Francesca Robertson. Good afternoon. No, morning. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm Francesca Robertson, a doctor of sorts. I assume you heard about Mr. Hungerford. It seems to be the talk of the town already. I'm used to dealing with maladies of an occult nature, but black eyes are certainly unusual. I've heard of something like this before, but I don't see how it could be the same thing. Either way, I'm hopeful an Evercant will have some effect. Oh, the scratches on her face. Evercant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important, and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out, so it's a stone item. And it has to weigh exactly 1 pound. Well, we finally get to use our scales. That's 1 pound. Stone item, that's stone. Nope, too heavy. Is that stone? far too heavy. This, no. You. Oh ho ho. I want to know what this symbol is. What does it? Does it say anything on here? No. I'll just draw someone out from a coma. That's stone, even though it has some brass or bronze on it. No. I'm assuming that nothing else will weigh exactly a pound, or it'd be. That's lighter. I think we found our thing, haven't we? That's like not entirely stone. Okay. That looks to be the thing. Items made of stone. Weighing the item using my scales shows that it is exactly 1 pound. I still couldn't work out what the symbols mean. Rebirth, wasn't that, I think? I suppose that does a little bit make sense if someone's in a coma, but dataless link. Temperance Parker. I had a quiet chat with Edmund Bishop in the Guilty Ram last night. He's always got an interesting story to tell, but last night he was different. I can tell he's worried, which has got me worried too. I know it's not much, but I'd like a shield charm all the same. 1 shield charm coming up. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but can have some small effect. An Oshadic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of metals, though rarely precious metals. Well, we did find something that had the charm of the symbol of protection. I like that picture. This almost looks like a coastline, doesn't it? And then creepy hands. So in a Oshadic spirit, that's come up before. With the shadow hold. Okay, then what was the other thing? Wandering shroud. Oh, you can't read about a wandering shroud, okay. So they use the art of symbology. There's nothing much else there, is there? And that's the symbol for protection, which was this. Nothing much to remark. You would just wear it around your neck, a cheap kind of metal. That seems like it might tick the boxes. It's just like a generic protection charm. Hooray! We've got an achievement called Apprentice. Identified 10 items. This pendant has a symbol of protection. St. John's Anvil. Hello, Jupiter. Hugh Langston. There's something I wanted to show you. I didn't like the look of it, so I left it where I found it. What if it's cursed? It was hanging behind an old shed, all overgrown with ivy. Let me draw a quick map for you. There. Thank you. Well, onto the map we go. So there are some trees by a church. Where is there a church on here? Undermere Church 28. Oh, this thing, is it this tiny little building here? It doesn't entirely make sense from the drawing. Is there another church? High Green Church number 4. Ah, that makes more sense. But then where are the trees? I think this one makes more sense, doesn't it? The shed is actually a wooden summer house that looks out over the pond, but it's clear that it hasn't been used in some time. Thick brambles claw their way up and over one side of the structure, and ivy covers the rest in a mottled green cloak. I find what I'm looking for to the rear. Parts of the ivy have been torn away recently, revealing an amulet hanging from a rusted nail. Something else catches my eye as I reach for it, and I notice that there is another pendant hanging next to it, almost completely hidden by the ivy. 2 for 1 result. Oh, very appealing looking they are too. They're quite autumnal looking to my mind. Ooh. We have someone new, I've realised. The Doctor, Francesca Robertson. I keep saying Robertson. Growing up, Francesca's father was her hero. When he died suddenly and tragically in a mysterious incident, nobody seemed able or willing to give her the answers she demanded, and she grew tired of being fed the same stories that she knew could not be true. As she entered adulthood, she learned how to find things out for herself, and what she learned opened her mind to a world she hadn't known existed, a world of occult maladies and dark articles. She learned about Tormund's paralysis, Hobbs' fear, and the sapphire curse, and she learned that these maladies could be cured. Good for her. It's Verona again. Eli has picked a bad time to leave Undermere. I've come from the Hungerford house, where I've been helping Dr. Robertson and looking for any clues about what happened there. There wasn't much to go on. I did find a shattered Oshadic vessel, but whatever this was no creeping dark. There was a strange black stain on the flagstone floor that I didn't like the look of, and the ravens. Very unusual, but at least they seem to have dispersed. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to take a trip to Gleaston Castle to see if Edmund Bishop can shed any light on their behaviour. But first I would like a vestiger. Whatever this is, we don't want it spreading. So Hungerford, is he the guy that we gave the Oshadic vessel to, and he has since died with black eyes? Well, that's worrying. Vestiger. Nope. The vestiger can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Ooh. Is there anything in here that would be... Just wondering if there are any relevant symbols to look out for. Not so much, I think. Flames burn pale blue. I mean, this could be anything. Well, we've got flames here. Oh, I can pick up the candle. Okay, that could help. Oh, that's gone very pale. Oh my gosh, it's the first thing. It's the first thing I've looked at. That's a very blue light, isn't it? Sort of, well, what you call blue light. It's very sort of pale, harsh light. That's funny, the very first thing. It doesn't seem to be changing for anything else. If it does, then that we'll have to sort of drill down into it. That's funny. Well, I guess that's the messenger then. That was funny, it was the very first item. Aha! Using a candle, I am able to confirm that flames burn blue in its presence. Moonstone Guardian. So that's the end of the day. Okay, sorry for any breaking audio there. Had to pause briefly. I think we'll do one more day. End of day 3, 2 days earlier, the rider and his fellow adventurer were deep underground, exploring the tunnels below the Kirkhead Tower, when they made a discovery. Their elation at their find would soon turn to horror. Apologies for any background noise. I don't know if you could hear. I think there was a helicopter going by. Still kind of circling. Very noisy. It's a key, I think. Yes, an ornate key. After a disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. A disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. So what do we have? Good. Point to that. Disagreement between two houses. Oh, Keystone. Keystone Manor. And Lock House, I see. Keystone Manor, Lock House. Buried behind lock and key. So is it this, or is it this? Or is it this? Behind. I'm gonna try this. I must have taken a wrong turning. This isn't where I was meant to come. Oh no. So it's either this or it's this. Oh no. I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. What are we doing? So it's this, right? It better be. No! What do they mean then, behind this one? Oh, there we go. That was unlucky, trying all the different ones. A large flat slab of granite marks the otherwise empty field. It bears an inscription. On this spot in the year 1813, Arthur Key did shoot and kill the beloved horse of Wellington Lock. Buried at the foot of the slab, I find an unlocked chest containing a handful of legal documents as well as a pistol and another item that catches my attention. Oh, well, I'm annoyed about that because the fear is now gripping us. I don't know if I don't know if I'm meant to have discovered what to do with this yet. Can we put stuff on top of it? Where's my... magnifying glass? Let's put the map in there. Well, it said, what was it? Tab? No, shift. Strange. Okay, well I assume that will reveal itself to me at the right time. Okay, let's begin the day proper, shall we? Well, the shop is still standing, that's something. Say what you will about Undermere, but this town is never quiet for long. Oh, he did say a few days, didn't he? He's come back. I'll leave for a few days, and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. I'm going to need to find Verona to get up to speed on what's going on. At least I didn't come away from Ravenglass empty-handed. I can always rely on quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket or two. Well, it is strange that as soon as he went away, things started happening, but perhaps that's not coincidence. I'm not a good person. I'm pushing away the only people I care about. Help me to do better, please. I have to change, but I don't know how. What do you have that can help me banish my inner demons and make the changes stick this time? So she's wearing the binding seed, isn't she? She needs to change. Not to banish her inner demons. What did the binding seed say again? Oh! So is she the one that was stealing the things? She nicked that necklace as her housemate thought she would. Okay, inner demons. We've definitely read something about that. Demon is a horned shackle, but I don't think that's what... Oh, it does say. Meant to bring about change in one's life and overcome personal demons. Okay. We already used horned shackle though. Seems weird that they would do the same one. There isn't one about change. Or what else could it be? Oh, it says change, horned shackle, Livula. It says reassurance in times of change. And then it's got wisdom. I think we want the other. I think it's just odd that it's got us to do the same, use the same one twice. I can't really see what else it could be. Let me double check. Horned shackle. Yeah, because she literally says about overcoming personal demons. Identified. We'd already identified it. That's weird. The Avocant didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange. At times he appears almost awake, but he is deep in some kind of trance, and I can't get anything out of him. He seems to be searching for something. I'm beginning to suspect this is beyond my skill set, but I'm not willing to give up so easily. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm going to need a sleep vessel to get me through this week. Sleep vessel. So he's not dead, but he's in a deep trance. The 6 points of a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 thalmic disciplines: Selenic, Dradic, Noctic, Diurnic, Oixic and Mentic. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. That sounds awful. 6 points are those? Oh, that's 6 points. Does that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That has 6 kind of points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that kind of has 6 points, although they're kind of more like fingers. So it doesn't say much else, just says they represent the different disciplines. Oh, that was protection from insanity, which, I mean, sort of fits. Like, does this 1, 2, 3, 4? That also has 6 points. Not many points though, are they? I guess if it means pointy, they are 6 places. What was the other one? This one. Bronze, iron. I didn't actually look at the other things. Somewhat painful. There is a darkness to it, as if it holds untold fears inside. That does kind of go. What does this say? Crackling, sense of crackling energy flickers in the depths of my mind. I feel like protection against insanity is quite specific though, and that's nothing to remark. I think it's probably this. 6 points. Untold fears does seem to be like undreamed nightmares. That does seem to kind of go. Let's try that. Yay, 6 points. Closer inspection reveals the darkness inside. Okay. Resonance compass. Many years ago I owned a silent breath, but I was already old when I inherited it, and its power died soon after. It's about time I replaced it. A silent breath. There are those that consider the white heart a prize to be claimed, but there is no glory to be had from killing such a noble guardian of the forest. The silent breath contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. The white stag, guardian of the forest. It contains a small token. Oh, could it be that? Oh, looks like a hair. Glass filled with a blue liquid, a white hair. It's got to be this, hasn't it? Cold. Seems to make the hairs stand up on the back of my neck. That does kind of seem to fit with sensing danger. I can't think what else it would be. A small token from a white stag. I mean, what other small token from a stag could there be? The antlers aren't really small, are they? I think we'll have to go with that. The item features a white hair, a potential trophy from a white stag. On closer inspection, my senses come alive. Elder stone. don't know if I should be going through the book and trying to identify some of the ones that we already have. Rufus Shelley. I've always wanted to try a Daedalus link. I have a personal interest in the celestial branch, so I'm not completely new to such things, nor am I ignorant of the risks. And now I have a good reason for it. I need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. Nope. Daedalus link is a powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, however, so it would be prudent not to take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. Their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight, a feather or the wings of a bird or insect, for example. Feather. What's that? Slate, dark purple gemstone. Rough, polished. I don't actually know what. I thought that could maybe be a wing, but every sound has become both louder and clearer. Ooh, okay, well that seems quite specific. Something to do with flight. Or a bird? Nothing to remark. Raised detailing, tarnished silver. I mean, that doesn't give us much to go on, does it? Light in weight. I mean, that suggests a bird. Oh, that is very light. It's not even. What is that? Half a pound. It's not even half a pound. I don't know what else it could be. I'll do that just for comparison's sake, because that's the only other thing that seems to seem vaguely like. Yeah, see, that's a little bit heavier than half a pound. I think it's going to have to be this raven. Hooray! The bird motif is a connection to flight. Using my weighing scales, I can confirm it is very lightweight. It is. Classic purifier. The ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. After speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to visit Gleaston Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artefacts that would be of use to you, gathering dust in hidden corners. All I ask is that you stay out of the South Tower and the master bedroom, and run anything you find by me first, of course. Gleaston Castle, so master bedroom, South Tower. And that's the end of the day. So where is Gleaston Castle? It's not on here. Oh, he gave me things. Silly me. It's a special map. Hang on, what's this? Here's something to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end. Okay, I'm not going to remember this. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. So that's the first floor, ground floor. Grand hallway, it must be here. Past the main staircase. And turn left, follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door on the left. Here, left, down, door on the left, that one. There is a small plinth in the corner of the room with an item on it that you're welcome to. I never did like it anyway. This. The plinth is not hard to spot in the corner of the room next to a small writing desk. A glass jar houses the object mentioned in Edmund's note. As I gather the item and turn to leave, my eye is drawn to a green book on the desk. The author's name is of particular interest. I pick it up and find Edmund on my way out, who encourages me to take it with me. I try to insist on paying for it, or at least, but he won't entertain the idea. Gemstones. I like this item. It looks like an award, doesn't it? Gemstones. I'm intrigued about this. Ooh. So it tells us what. Amethyst, Wessex, a stone of containment, amber, dianic, yellow or orange, sometimes containing impurities, the sunstone, fire and light, heat and life. I like that. So that has been done. I want to explore this map a bit more. He said not the south staircase, is that right? That's north, so south. This one? And the master bedroom. Am I allowed to just look in rooms? A long dining table fills a room more often used for intellectual dinner parties than dancing. Still, it holds a sense of occasion. There's nothing to find here. Oh, we don't get penalised, at least, for looking. Conservatory. Potted plants line the edges, wren, Jacob's worth and camphor among them. It's peaceful, save for the distant chirp of birds, but it's time to move on. Kitchen. The smells and sounds of cooking greet me as I enter the castle kitchens, simmering stews and clinking pots. Hard stairs make my presence conspicuous, so I leave them to it. So I don't know if it's worth looking round. What are these symbols? Those are in our book. A grand staircase spirals upward on both sides, flanked by portraits of noble faces with hollow eyes that seem to follow my every step. I don't know if it's worth looking in all of these rooms. Wasting my time here. Oh no, okay, that's penalised me, so I need to be careful. Don't look in the courtyard. Neat hedgerows and worn pillars frame the space. Gravel crunches underfoot, the only sound in the otherwise quiet courtyard. There's no reason to look. Okay, well I think maybe we shouldn't keep looking. It's possible we might get some further clues. What does that say? Mars in winter, rising in summer. Mars in winter, rising in summer. We've definitely got symbols that Mars is that the kind of male symbol, isn't it? Mars rising in summer. Mars in winter. Six-pointed star rising in summer. No. Oh, that's Mars. But the winter and rising in summer thing. Maybe we don't have enough information yet. Okay. Well, we've got lots to investigate, haven't we? We've done quite a lot today. I actually ended up recording longer than I intended to, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know whether I should end the day. I'm not sure at what point it saves. Let's do that just to make sure. End of day 4. At the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. very small. I don't know if that's in the castle or in Undermere as a whole. Well, that would be a good thing to start on next video. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. It is a very kind of relaxed, chilled kind of game, like the gameplay, but lots of intriguing things happening. So we will continue on with those in my next video. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Please like the video if you did enjoy it. Consider subscribing for more videos of this kind. And also feel free to say hi in the comments. Let me know what games you're playing and so on. And in the meantime, goodbye and good night.